Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is a brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad with another edification through the power and spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so first and foremost, Kal Halayam La Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akakotash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Double honors unto the apostles, the bishops, the elders. Alright, a great millstone that rule well. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching this truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more than ever for this truth. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is the sisters, that listening and learning. Alright. So the title of this edification is The Snare of AI and Its Takeover. Alright, the snare of AI and its takeover. Okay. Because you see, as you could see, unless you're living under a rock, alright, unless you're living under a rock, but this, you would know of the technology of AI. Everyone know the technology of AI. As I said, unless you're living under a rock, but the scripture, at the same time, the scripture tells us what? Which is Sirach 5 and 15. Alright, Sirach 5 and 15, where it reads, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small." Alright, so this is something that we ought to know about and have proper information about, be well educated or edified about, because it's something that has taken over the world by storm. All right, it's a technology that has taken over the world by storm. All right, but really and truly, it is a trap. Okay, it is a serious trap. There's individuals coming out of the woodwork and speaking on this thing called AI. All right, where they've been indulging in AI for a couple hours straight and what have you, so forth. And when they do take stock, is because when they do catch themselves, it's like the AI, it actually taking over their mind. All right, the AI technology, taking over their minds and stuff like that, because really and truly AI, artificial intelligence is actually something that is demonic, and it is controlled by demons. It is witchcraft. All right, it is witchcraft, and this form of witchcraft, is taking over the world. All right. And it is going to ensnare, entrap a lot of people. A lot of people, especially where the MOTB is concerned. Yeah, especially where the MOTB is concerned, the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. Because as we just say, the microchip is not just only about buying and selling, all right? It's not just only about buying and selling, but it's you being in one with this whole beast system and what have you, so forth, and you being in one, with this artificial intelligence, this AI technology. All right, everything is going to be, attributed to this chip and this artificial intelligence, and everything. It's all interconnected. It's all interconnected, because you have to remember, this man, he's on a roll. All right, trying to solidify his God status upon the face of the earth, because he sees himself as a God. All right, he sees himself as a God, and then on the same, and then on next thing to pursue into this AI technology. All right, this AI technology is going to be a nightmarish situation pursuant to the men of the Lord. All right, because they are going to use this. This AI technology. They are going to use this, against the men of the Lord, Again, it's all a trap. All right, it's all a trap. All right, they're going to use this to frame the men of the Lord, to slander the men of the Lord and what have you so forth, because that is the level, that is the heights, the level that this thing has reached, where they could make up a whole scenario and place you in the scenario, and use your voice, and synchronize everything and make it look as if you doing and you seeing whatever the scenario may be. You understand? They could put you in a place where you had never been before. They could put you in a vicinity that you had never ever seen in your life. This is how serious this technology is. All right, they could place you in a vicinity where you had never been in your life. All right, and synchronize your voice and your body structure, your body movement, everything. All right, everything, because that is how advanced this technology has reached. All right, and put you, in a scenario that you was never there. All right. Now the selling off this thing as if it is something good and what have you so forth, and it's something that it will benefit the world, benefit you, and what have you so forth. But it's far from the truth. What the scripture said, pursuant to Proverbs 26, and I'll start at 25. Proverbs 26 and 25, it reads, when he speaketh fear, all right, when this man, all right, he saw Edom, the so-called white man, when he speaketh fear, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. So no matter how he try to sell this to you, all right, do not believe him. The scripture says, never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. All right, whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. All right, there's where it is here. But when you go down to verse 27, it reads, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. All right, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and the flattering mouth worketh ruin. Because when I go to Psalms 10, let's take a look at Psalms 10. Psalms 10 and 1, where it reads, Psalms 10 and 1, why standest thou afar off, O Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble? The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And that devices is what? The AI technology and the RFID microchip and what have you so forth. These things. All right, these things are the devices of the wicked. Yeah? For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. Okay? And proof of that is their AI technology. All right? Proof of that is their AI technology. They have been able to create this thing, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right? Because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he placed his instructions in your dreams. Let me see if I could get a scripture. Let me see if I could get a scripture in my... That's roughly paraphrasing it. And yes. Something, yeah, Job 33, Job 33 and 15. Let's take a look at that. Job 33 and 15, I will come back to that. Alright, Job, where is it? Job 33 and 15. Job 33 and 15, it reads, in a dream, in a vision of the night. Alright, I would start from 14. Alright, Job 33 and 14, it says, for Yahweh speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man, in slumberings upon the bed. Alright? There's where it is. Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Alright? There's where it is there. So all this what they're doing is of the working of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Alright? Is of the working of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They cannot do this thing on their own. That's why the scripture says in same Proverbs, I ought to go back to Proverbs 4, and I think the point is from 16. Proverbs 4 and 16. I will start from 14. Proverbs 4 and 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. Alright, for they sleep not except they have done mischief. Alright, because they always looking and conjuring up for some sort of wickedness to bring forth, to always have to ensnare the people, trap the people, have the people under their subjection, by the way of wickedness. So it says, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause someone to fall, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. So when you go back to the Psalms, 10 and read over verse, I think it's verse 4, I believe. All right, yeah, verse 4. All right, so it says here, the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after Yahweh. Yahweh is not in all his thoughts, because why? His thoughts is all of wickedness. All right, to ensnare the people with his trap by the way of their MOTB and what have you, so forth, and be in that hive mind. All right, controlled by AI technology and blockchain technology, which is AI, which all these things is artificial intelligence, these things, which is really being controlled by demons. And the thing about it is this is something that has taken over the world by storm. All right, so it says here, verse 5, and his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight, for all his enemies he puffeth at them. All right, he puffeth at them by the way of what? By the way of the sword. All right, which is his blessing. Verse 6, he saith, he had said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. All right, this is their God. This is their godlike, their godlike status. This is how they see themselves as gods. All right, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. This is the point here. Verse 8, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. All right. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion. In his den he lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. All right. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. And this is what it is here. All right. Everything that this man has, this man is creating or has created and what have you, so forth, is all their building blocks towards their new world order and what have you, so forth, and at the center of everything, of all that it is there, is their artificial intelligence, and it's not for your benefit, it is for your destruction. All right, it is for your destruction. There is where it is. All right, and this thing is a snare, is a trap, is a net that he had set out, and a lot of people is being captivated by this thing, A lot of people, especially the generation of today, the generation of today that is also fascinated pursuant to technology and whatnot, the latest iPhone, the latest Samsung Galaxy S this or S that or whatever the case may be, and whatever so forth. Then you have and it have way more advanced now. It have the goggles, the Google goggles and the Apple goggles and all these things, virtual reality and all these things, that the young generation, is infatuated with. You understand? So, they are the ones, they are the ones that is going to be first in line, to take that brain interface, pursuant to Elon Musk, and what have you, so forth, that brain interface with the Neuralink and all these things, you know what I mean? All these things that is being controlled by what? By artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is going to be the center of everyone's life in the very coming future. All right, you have what? You have the robot, because yeah, the robots, you take a look at China, and how they have revolutionized their health system and what have you, so forth. All right, where there's what they call it, robots that is actually doing the work, and robots is administering the medicine, and robots seeing about everything on a patient, which is all controlled by artificial intelligence. This is where it reached. All right, this is where it reached, and it's going to come all over the world. It's going to come here in Trinidad too. All right, it's going to come all here in Trinidad too, where they're going to have these robots in the health system and in everything, not just the health system, police in the streets, everything, every single thing. Sorry, that is all controlled by artificial intelligence. And hey, you people, whether it be Jake or whether it be the heathens or whatever, all right, they all going to be what? They all going to be jobless, and they all going to be under this UBI, Universal Basic Income System and all these things, and what have you, so forth, whilst AI is just taking over and controlling your lives and, making the decisions for you. Because as far as elites is concerned, you shouldn't decide for your own future, your own, benefit or whatever the case may be. No, you don't have that capability, That should be left to us. That should be left to AI technology. You understand? And this is a trap there that is being set. This is a trap there that is being set. This way it is. And a lot of people is going to fall for it, because because of this man, all right? And this man, as it says, he said in this same chapter here, all right, Psalms 10, where he said, he said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud, and his tongue is mischief and vanity, because of the wisdom and knowledge that he has. That's the only reason why he's saying that, you understand? Because he has been blessed with a level of knowledge, and a level of intelligence, that is going to ensnare the whole world. But the scripture says what? Pursuant to Sirach 19 and 22, what it says. Sirach 19:22, it says, the knowledge of wickedness, all right, the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. All right, and this is what they are increased in, the knowledge of wickedness, but it is not wisdom, all right, because it is a knowledge of death. All right, a knowledge of death, because it is a knowledge of sin. All right, because what is the main driving force behind all these things is what? Witchcraft. All right, pseudoscience and witchcraft, and with pseudoscience is witchcraft. All right, this is what it is. This is what it is. All right, it says there is a wickedness and the same and abomination, and there is a fool wanting in wisdom, and that is Esau Edom. But what the Lord said, verse 24, he that had small understanding and feareth Yahweh is better than one that had much wisdom and transgressed the law of the Most High. You see where it is? You see where this thing is going? You understand? Because this man has taken over, this man is ruling, but he is ruling in what? He is ruling in much wickedness. Right? He's ruling in much wickedness. That's what it is, basically. You understand? Much wickedness. And this is why we are calling this thing out. This is why we are calling this thing out. And because we are calling this thing out, you know, he's going to use that same technology against us. Don't get it twisted. All right? Don't get it twisted. He's going to use that same technology against the men of the Lord. When I say against us, I'm speaking about the men of the Lord. All right? As I said, you know, he's going to use that technology, all right, within his own interests in trying to destroy the men of the Lord. You know, he could put us in places and stuff like that. This man could, you know, cause, this man could do his false flag events and what have you, so forth, and put brothers within those false flag events and whatnot to accuse us, so so that he could have his justification in coming up against us. You get what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says in Revelation, let's go to Revelation 12, and I will start at verse 7. Revelation 12 and 7, where it reads, and there was war in heaven, Michael and the angels fought against the dragon, all right, which is that old Roman Empire, all right, Esau, Edom, and the dragon fought and his angels. Okay, and that war in heaven, it is speaking about, the up and coming World War III, you know, between Yahweh Shai Salaki and the angels against Esau. Bear with me. Yeah, against Esau. All right, that great dog fight, that great battle in the skies between the chariots of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai and Esau and his space force and his fighter jets and all these things. All right, but it says, and prevail not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven for who? For the dragon. All right, that heaven that it's speaking about his rulership. All right, pursuant to verse 8 there, that heaven is speaking about his rulership. Verse 9, and it reads, and the great dragon, all right, was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, because they are the devil, all right, which means slanderer, all right, false accuser and what have you, so forth. And they are also the physical counterpart of the spiritual being Satan. So it says, which deceived the whole world, all right, he was cast out. And how he deceived the whole world? By his false miracles, man. By his false miracles. Pursuant to Revelation 13, and I think is Revelation 13 or 13:14. All right, also Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians. All right, these false miracles, man. All right, he was cast out of the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuseth them before our power day and night. All right, days wait is here. Days wait is here, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. You understand? This man is going to use this thing here in all ways possible, all right, to destroy the people and to destroy the elect, to try to destroy the elect. But you see, the thing is, you cannot destroy the elect. They cannot destroy the elect. All right, the elect will always be the elect. There's where it is. There's where it is. And too bad, too bad the people, the masses, they cannot see it. Too bad the masses cannot see it for what it is. You understand? When you take a look at Sirach 21, and 4, Sirach 21 and 4, it reads, to terrify, all right? Sirach 21 and 4, it reads, to terrify and do wrong will waste riches, will waste riches. Thus the house of proud men shall be made desolate. Because it's a terrifying, it's a dystopian nightmare they are bringing the world under. This whole thing of AI technology is going to bring the world, drag the world into a dystopian nightmare. All right, into a total dystopian nightmare, because this is the greatest trap ever made. All right, this CHIP tying in with artificial intelligence and whatnot so forth is the greatest trap ever made. All right, on the face of the earth, in the history of mankind. All right, that it is going to bring the world in such a dystopian nightmare. Right, that you all can't even fathom. You all won't be able to fathom the reality of what you have been brought into. There's where it is here. There's where it is here, and people, this is, and people, all right, you dumb stupid Christians and what have you so forth, all right, having a problem with us. For us bringing out this truth, for us bringing out the true understanding of the scriptures. You all want to slander us and call us this and call us that and call us the other, when there is a whole dystopian nightmare that you all are literally walking into. Kill you all dead, you all save. Kill you all dead is going to have some rapture and all that bag of bullcrap. You understand? All these false understanding, false teachings and whatnot, wickedness, that you all are under. But you all had the worst to say about us. But here it is this man. Here it is this man. Here it is this man has a technology that he is about to use on the whole four corners of the earth to ensnare every man, woman, and child. All right? To bring you all to destruction. And you all have nothing to say about it. You see what hypocrites you all are? All right, the so-called white man can do nothing wrong. Here it is, a whole dystopian nightmare. All right, artificial intelligence, along with other things to go with it, to tie with it, for your destruction. But we are the wicked ones. That is why the scripture say, let me see if I could type that in. That is why the scripture says, let me see how I could paraphrase that, by he who he who condemneth the righteous. Let me see. Proverbs 17:15. Yeah. Let's see if I could get that. Proverbs 17 and verse 15, where it reads, all right, he that justified the wicked, he that justified the wicked and he that condemned the just, even they both are an abomination unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua. And where you feel is going to take place with them? All right, where you feel is going to take place with them? That is why the Lord said, when they go to Thessalonians, when I go to 2 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 10 or 9, let me see. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 10, where it reads, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. All right, speaking about the dumb, dotish hypocrites, all right, false believers, all right, who don't want to hear the truth, all right, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. That's why when I go back to the Proverbs, I think it's 22 and 3. Let me see. Yeah, Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hide himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. All right, the simple passes on and are punished. Because, again, it go back to the very first scripture that I read, the Sirach 5 and 15. All right, be not ignorant in any matter, small or great, roughly paraphrasing. All right, the Lord tells us that, and because of that, and because of this particular scripture here that is on the screen, the Proverbs 2 and 23, 22 and 3 Salakia, yeah, because of that, pursuant to 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, it reads what? Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right? The elites can never have the upper hold over us, that advantage over us, because we know the Abba Shem Yashai, the scripture says he showed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. All right? So Yahweh Shem Yashai had given us the eye salve, the eyesight to see what is actually taking place, where the world is heading to right now. All right, and 2/3 in our own people, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, you don't have the slightest clue of what you all are walking into. Let me just put it that way. You all don't have the slightest clue. All right, you all literally do not have the slightest clue of what you all are heading into. Basically, all right, you all are in for a hellish situation, man. A hellish situation, because this man going back to that Thessalonians. I have to go back to it, Thessalonians. What the hell are you doing? Thessalonians 2 and 3. All right, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3, where it reads, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." All right? And this is where it is here, we're revealing this man here. Because his time has come for him to be revealed, for him to be exposed before his destruction. And yet still, you all can't see it. I can't say for some reason, because I know the reason, and the reason is that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua blinded them. You understand? But anyway, as it is what it is, the word of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua must be performed. It must have the believers and it must have the unbelievers. You understand? Everybody can be a believer in this thing here. Anything go have no balance. That is not balance. All right? Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua at the end of the day, he's a man, of balance. All right? So it says here, all right, and except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showeth himself that he is God. There is where it is with these Edomites, with these elites. All right, they're God complex. All right. And their inventions and their technology and whatnot, so forth, it helps fuel that God complexity or complexity, or however the word may be pronounced, about them. It fuels it, all right, because what they have been able to achieve, all right, from the Renaissance period to now, no other nation has been able to achieve such heights of greatness pursuant to technology and technology for civilian use and also military use and what have you, so forth. Technology to have the world in that digital tower, that hive mind, that digital tower of Babel. All right, this way it is here. So it says, verse 5, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what were told it, that he might be revealed in his time." And this is the time that the so-called white man is being revealed, because his destruction is soon upon him. All right, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he now who letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua is having this man doing all what he is doing, until the time ready for him to what? Until he has reached his borderline. All right? That is where it is. All right, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, which is the angels and the chariots, which is the so-called UFOs. All right, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, all right, with all power and signs and lying wonders. And this way it is here. This is what AI technology and RFID chip technology and whatnot, so forth, all these things interconnected and whatnot, so forth, the Neuralink and all these things is what? Is science. All right. These things are of their power, also signs and lying wonders, all right, false miracles. All right, and the people, the world, is engaging with this thing like, this is something that, should be for the people. See, you see, yeah, a world of witchcraft. A world of witchcraft, man, a world of witchcraft that we're living in here. All right. This way it is here, a world of witchcraft, man. Psalms, let's take a look at Psalms. Psalms, going back to the book of Psalms, but chapter 36 and starting from 1. Psalms 36 and 1. It says, the transgression of the wicked, I say it within my heart that there is no fear of Yahweh before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He had left off to be wise and to do good. He devised mischief upon his bed. All right, he devised mischief upon his bed every time. Hey, these people cannot sleep. These Rothschilds and Rockefellers and DuPonts and Oppenheimers and whatnot, these elites, all right, the Bushes and what have you, so for the Clintons, all these elites, all right, they don't get no sleep unless they manage to conjure up some sort of evil conspiracy, some evil deed, all right, to bring just death, mayhem, agony, catastrophe upon the face of the earth. All right? It says he devised mischief upon his bed. He said to himself, he setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil, man. This is an evil people that you're dealing with. All right, the so-called white man, they are an evil people, man. Evil. All right, and they would not stop until they be taken out of the way. Plain and simple. They would not stop until they be taken out of the way. Yeah. Proverbs 12. Proverbs 12 and 5. Proverbs 12 and 5, it reads, the thoughts of the righteous, the thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. Yeah, the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. Wow. There's where it is here, boy. There's where it is here. And this man is going to reach his judgment pretty soon. He's going to get his judgment. It's just that, we had a whole faith. All right? We had a whole faith in Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai, but he is going to get his judgment. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All right? Last scripture, going back to the Apocrypha, which is the book of Sirach. Sirach 27, 24. Sirach 27 and 24, it reads, I have hated many things, but nothing like him. For the Lord will hate him. Who is that him it is speaking about? Esau, Edom. Right? I have hated many things, but nothing like him, boy. Nothing like him, because this man is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and the scripture speaks about what? To hate the evil and love the good. And this man is evil. This man is an evil man. Look what this man, what, as I said, I can remember some months back, doing the works and whatnot, so forth, and the brothers they had was to literally agree with me. All right, they all had was to agree with me, because all what this man is doing, have been doing, will continue to be doing. There is no other nations that had ever come as close as what this man is looking to bring the world into. You see the evil part, the evil part that this world is heading into and being ruled in much wickedness. All right, there no nation has ever achieved the feats, the great feats in wickedness. Let's go to the word feats. Let me see how to spell that. Yeah. Feat. Right? F-E-A-T is a noun referring to an impressive or difficult achievement or act. Yeah, or act. Often ones that require skill, courage, or strength. All right? It's used to highlight the remarkable nature of accomplishments. All right? Yeah? When I look at it here, it says the successful achievement of a task. All right? An activity that a person can do well. All right? 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 As you could see the synonyms and what have you, so forth. All right. So as I was saying, I don't need to go through all of that. We already got the point. So yeah, as I say, no nation has accomplished the sort of feats that these people are able to accomplish. All right, in much wickedness. No other nation has been able to do it. And that is the reason why they're going to be destroyed in the way that they're going to be destroyed. When you really get to see and understand, the things that this man has been able to accomplish in much wickedness, and you're coming to the scriptures, you're coming to the understanding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and get the reason why the Lord is going to destroy him, the way he is going to be destroyed. You have to see it. You have to come into agreement that, hey, the Lord is right and just in all his actions. And they're going to get their just reward. All right? They're going to get their just reward. This way it is, plain and simple. So as it says, I have hated many things, but nothing like him, for the Lord will hate him. Whoso casteth a stone on high, casteth it on his own head. Yeah? Casteth it on his own head, and a deceitful stroke shall make wounds. Yeah? Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Yeah? And he that setteth a trap shall be taken therein. He that worketh mischief, it shall fall upon him, and he shall not know whence it cometh. Mockery and reproach are from the prudent, but vengeance as a lion shall lie in wait for them. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anguish shall consume them before they die. Malice and wrath, even these are abominations, and the sinful man shall have them both. There is where it is here. And this is the judgment that is coming for Esau, Edom. Plain and simple. All right, so I had to look to go and report to the plantation there. So I hope you all was edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This is your brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Campaign Trinidad, saying, call Alayam. Allah, Allahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Ba'ashem Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai. All right, double honors unto the apostles The bishops, the elders, a great milestone that rule well. Double salutation unto the brothers who preaching and teaching us truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwat, which is his sisters. Alright, your brother Kahan signing out, saying shalom, shalom, shalom.